Honourable member for Calgary Forest Lawn.
Mr. Speaker, today our leader stood up and condemned everything that the Liberals were calling him out for today. And in contrast, not a single Liberal has called out their leader for the racist blackface that he wore.
I'm just going... Order. If I could have everyone calm down. If you don't mind, the honourable member for Calgary Forest Lawn. From the top, I just want to make sure everybody hears the question so that when the minister or the Prime Minister answer, then everybody can hear that as well. The honourable member for Calgary Forest Lawn.
Mr. Speaker, rising interest rates are crushing over 70% of small businesses, according to a report by the CFIB. Small businesses in my riding are being squeezed by rising taxes, record high inflation, labour crisis, and punishing interest rates. When will this government wake up and get off the necks of our small businesses and job creators?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Speaker, I thank the member opposite for this important question about the small business entrepreneurs that are at the heart of the Canadian economy. What we've been doing for the past 3 years is supporting small business entrepreneurs through the pandemic with targeted supports for wage subsidies and access to finance to support them and their employees. What we're doing since the pandemic is we are targeting entrepreneurs that will promote inclusive recovery. That means women entrepreneurs. That means black entrepreneurs. That means Indigenous entrepreneurs. What we're doing is understanding small businesses will carry us through and out of this pandemic, and that is where our priority lies. Thank you.
The honourable member for Calgary Forest Lawn.
Any type of help is being vaporized by the inflation that they created. This Thanksgiving, the Liberals are serving up Canadians with high inflation, leaving families to turn to food banks and homeless shelters at an alarming rate. Next Thanksgiving, the Liberals will serve Canadians a turducken of tax by tripling the carbon tax on groceries, home heating, and filling up your tank. Will this government have some mercy? Stop serving suffering to Canadians and cancel their plans to triple the carbon tax.
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it's a few days before Thanksgiving, and I absolutely agree now is a time for all of us to have a lot of compassion. And that's why I am glad that we have overcome partisan division, and today, together, we're going to vote for the GST tax rebate. That's going to get up to nearly $500 to Canadian families who need it. Now I want to encourage all of us to take another step. Let's support Canadian kids under 12 whose parents can't afford to take them to the dentist. How is that okay? Let's vote for this measure too and get it through in record time.
The honourable member for Calgary Forest Lawn.
Next Thanksgiving, Mr. Speaker, Canadians, after the tripling of the carbon tax, will be paying around $2,300 out of their own pocket. That's just next year. And students are some of the hardest hit by this Liberal government's inflationary economic policy and failed carbon tax. While missing every single emissions reduction target, they're punishing Canadians for the crime of heating their homes or just driving to work. The Liberals are driving students to food banks and sleeping in homeless shelters at alarming rates. Will the Liberals get off the backs and out of the back pockets of students and Canadians and cancel their plan to triple the carbon tax?
The Honourable Minister for Employment.
Mr. Speaker, young Canadians and students are the future of Canada. With Budget 2022, we are investing $26 million over 4 years to increase the maximum amount of forgivable Canada student loans by 50% for healthcare workers in rural and remote communities. We've had students' backs all along the way, and we remain committed to permanently eliminating the federal interest on Canada student loans and Canada apprentice loans. We will help young Canadians transition into the workforce.
L'honorable